Thank you for tuning into another video from JRM Recaps. Today we will be discussing the film, The Mule. Hope you enjoy. Spoilers ahead. This film is based on a true story of a World War II veteran named Leo Sharp. The film opens with Earl Stone, an old man who grows a garden of daylilies, winning another award for his flowers. Meanwhile, his daughter Iris is getting remarried somewhere else. His granddaughter, Ginny, is at first hopeful that Earl will appear, but her grandmother, Mary Stone, Earl's ex-wife, knows he will eventually let all of them down. Earl fails to show up at the wedding and stands up his loved ones once again. 10 years pass by and the internet flower companies have driven Earl into foreclosure. He appears at Ginny's birthday party and Iris leaves immediately when she arrives and sees Earl. Mary understands that Earl is there searching for a place to live when she sees all of his belongings packed away in his beat-up old truck. One of Ginny's questionable friends walks up to Earl and after a brief conversation, hands him a business card. He tells Earl that he knows a person who is currently employing drivers with decent money and no questions asked. Earl at last calls the number and goes to a garage where Mexican thugs place a large duffel bag in the bed of his truck along with a telephone. He is told to never use the telephone, but if he gets a call on it to answer it day or night. They also tell him to never open and look inside the bag. His job is to just park the truck, leave the keys inside, and return in an hour. He does as told and finds an envelope loaded with cash in the glove box. One of the men approaches his truck and hands him a piece of paper with a phone number on it, telling him to call that number if he ever needs more work. In the meantime, the Drug Enforcement Agency has brought another superstar agent to assist, Colin Bates, to attempt to catch drug dealers and the drugs they traffic into the United States. They start to get to work and begin surveilling a particular person of interest they intend to use as an informant for their investigation. They approach the man, Luis Rocha, in a nail salon and blackmail him into helping them. Earl goes to Ginny's wedding, but Mary and Iris are distant towards him. Mary lets Earl know that if he has really changed, it will require some time and effort to repair the relationship with his daughter. An acceptance will not just happen right away. Earl buys himself a new truck and shows up to do another drug run, impressing the Mexican thugs with his new ride. One of the thugs explains to him that he must throw away every cell phone after each drug run is complete. With the money Earl has been earning from the drug runs, he is able to get his house out of foreclosure. A Korean War veteran, he goes to the Veterans of Foreign Wars building just to find it has been destroyed by a fire. If only someone would donate some money to repair it, says a volunteer, staring at Earl's newly purchased truck. Earl shows up at the garage to complete another drug run. He decides to pull over and open the bag to see what he is hauling, and discovers it contains a large amount of drugs. In the meanwhile, the two DA agents meet up with Luis for some undercover work. The Veterans Affairs holds a grand reopening ceremony, where Earl is seen as a hero for the donations. He also decides to pay for Ginny's college education as well. The DA has learned of the presence of El Tata and is starting to assemble pieces of clues regarding this identity. All they know is that he has transported more drugs than any of their other mules, and that he has a black-colored truck. Earl completes more drug runs and has acquired the respect of the Mexican gangsters. Earl does a drug run and bumps into DA agent Colin Bates at a cafe, the night after the DA stakes out an in searching for El Tata. Earl offers him advice with regards to his family, telling him, "Don't be like me." The cartel boss, Leighton, sends one of his men to accompany Earl on his 8th drug run. On the way, he stops in the middle of the drug run to help a family on the side of the road with a flat tire. Then Earl gets confused and shows up at the wrong garage to deliver the drugs, which leads to an unnecessary confrontation. Once the drug run is complete, Leighton flies Earl to Mexico so that he can meet with him, and sets up a large party in his honor. He is astonished that a 90-year-old man, nicknamed El Tata, is the best new drug mule in his association. He proceeds to introduce him to a beautiful woman who dances with him and then takes him back to his room for an eventful evening. Earl attends Ginny's graduation commencement and sits down next to Mary. We can see that she is beginning to come around towards him. However, she has also developed a very bad cough, which Earl first learns about while there. Back in Mexico, Layton's subordinates feel they can do a better job than him and shoot him in the back of the head. The new boss lets the Mexican thugs know that they have to crack down on Earl because he doesn't want Earl feeling like he has the right to wander around on his drug runs, since there's too much money at stake. He sends some of his men to grab Earl, and they show him a dead body in the trunk of a car. They tell him no more funny business and never to be late, or this is what will happen to him too. The agents continue their investigation while Earl continues on his first drug run for the new boss. Earl stops at a motel to spend the night. The agents are there and arrest the man staying in the room next to Earl because they suspect the man is El Tata. Mary becomes very ill and is brought back to her house so pass away peacefully in hospice care. Earl realizes this is his last opportunity to make things right with his family, so he vanishes. The DEA and the Mexican cartel are extremely worried that he has, for the first time, gone completely off the grid. Earl makes up with Mary and stays by her bedside until she passes away, and due to this, Iris also comes around towards him. Afterward, they all go to Mary's funeral. Iris welcomes Earl to enjoy Thanksgiving supper with the family. He then continues on with his drug deliveries. The thugs who were ordered to be following Earl see his truck and follow him to a gas station, where they beat him up. They take the flyer from the memorial service and acknowledge he has a genuine reason to have disappeared. They call their new boss to inform him, but he doesn't care for any reason regarding the absence. From the outset, he wanted Earl dead. However, they argue his case. He lets them know it will be their heads in the event that Earl doesn't finish the delivery. Anyway, Bates and the other agents have finally identified Earl's truck. After a short chase, he is finally stopped and arrested. At trial, Earl's lawyer tries to paint him as a broke, desperate war hero attempting to provide for his loved ones. However, Earl stops her and confesses to all charges. His daughter and granddaughter give him a kiss. Iris says, "At least we know where to find you." The film closes with Earl growing daylilies, but this time, in the prison garden. Thank you for watching our recap. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe for future videos. Also, try some of our other videos displayed on screen.